Hey, kitty cats. Adam Savage here in my cave with two show and tells today from the same... Two things from the same place, but not from the same place. Yeah. Okay, so I love cosplay. I love the costume, the transformation of costumes. I love putting my body into narratives that are interesting to me. And I love the interesting transformation that happens with masks. I find masks fascinating. Obviously, I would, given my proclivity to love armor and helmets and spacesuits, costumes, and cosplay in general. So this is a long way of saying I am frequently on Etsy doing searches for custom-built masks. I love finding a place where someone has their own small business making masks, and I'm going to highlight a couple mask makers right now. The first one comes from an Etsy store called Epic Fantasy, and I purchased this from them. This magnificent rat-faced bastard. This gorgeous papier-mâché rat. It is papier-mâché, and I recently tried some papier-mâché out on the channel with greater and lesser success. There's a link in the description, but this is magnificent. This looks like it was additive papier-mâché, so built over rather than into a mold. And I can tell that because when you look really close up, you can see pieces of the paper. You can see the process by which this was laid down. They also added some little stringies here for whiskers. Sometimes seeing the maker's mark takes one away from a construction, but not here, not at all, not even a little bit. The fur, the very soft, what must be rabbit fur? I don't even know. Soft fur that's on the eyebrows and the jowls. I mean, maybe one of the reasons I gravitated towards this rat is because he and I have similar sideburn goals. I don't know. But I just know that the moment I saw this character on the screen, I was like, I got to add that mask to my collection. It is a beauty. Yeah, I mean, this is just absolutely lovely. I don't know when I'm going to have a fancy ball to go to where animal masks are required, but I do know that I will be ready for that moment when it arrives. Epic Fantasy, your guys' store is really lovely. All the masks you make are really compelling, and I'm delighted to have a piece of your collection, a piece of your construction in my collection. The paint on this is really, really particularly lovely. This reminds me of the movie that came out when I was a kid, The Secret of Nim. There's like an old rat in that, if I remember. It's been a long time. I saw it when it came out, and I don't think I've seen it since. But like, there's a character here. There is a personality in this mask, and that's often what I look for, is a specific point of view. It's not just a generic rat. This is someone's really specific idea of the color and the form of an anthropomorphized rat face. I love saying rat face. Just absolutely stunning. At some point, I look forward. I have a whole bunch of really great masks in my collection. I look forward to having a place where I can display them and you can really see them and they can breathe. But right now, you know, this will stick around for a while. You know, just one sec. Anyway, like I said, this is now part of my collection. I hope someday to display it alongside all my other masks in a way that it can be seen. But right now it's sort of floating around the shop because I just love looking at this face. I think this is a gorgeous and beautiful character. Yeah. I get so much out of the individual creators on Etsy. I know Etsy as a platform has a lot of really significant problems, and the counterfeiting and the overseas cheap stuff that's flooding it are really problematic. Plus Etsy, you guys got to stop charging people more and more percentage of their sales. Seriously. That being said, this is a post about how awesome the creators on Etsy are, and I hope Etsy remains a lucrative and reasonable place for individual creators to sell their wares, because that's why I fell in love with it. Their fomenting of communication between seller and buyer in direct opposition to eBay's policies is delightful. I have made many friends after purchasing things on Etsy, and I have had some of the most fruitful creative collaborations in my life with creators on Etsy. And this is a terrific example, and I'm about to show you a second one. And this is a dog person mask. I'm a dog person, not because I don't like cats. It's actually because I'm allergic to cats. A fact I did not know about until my late 40s, which is weird, right? But no, the thing was I lived with cats until my 30s, until my mid 30s. I lived, actually early 40s. I lived with cats until then. And thus my nose was stuffed up almost permanently until my early 40s, when the last cat I lived with ran away. Phil ran away. Phil found a happy home. I met Phil a year later. He was happily living somewhere else, and my nose had cleared up. And that's when I realized I've been allergic to cats my whole life, which has been strange because the world smells very different when your nose isn't clogged, as something I've discovered over the past 15 years. At any rate, I'm a dog person, and I'm not just a dog person. I'm dog besotted. I love dogs. I love every iteration of dogs. I love wolves. My terrier is one of my favorite people in the world. And she's a jerk. But yeah, dogs have been a net improvement to my life over the past, now 15, 16 years was when we got Huxley. So this mask I'm about to show you is a dog mask, and it is like the bottom of a samurai mask. And here it is. I'm just going to put it on. This would be worn with a full samurai helmet, which I don't have at my disposal right now. And this is a beautiful, beautiful thing. It is 3D printed in SLA, which you can see if you can see that kind of telltale pattern that the parallel lines of the SLA printing yield. But this is one of the very first times I have seen a construction in which the SLA printing pattern aids and makes better the construction. That is a terrible way to put it. The art, I spent so much time in 3D printing removing the artifacts of the printing that it is delightful to me that the specular highlighting, that the parallelism of the laid down of the SLA layers yields actually works with this construction. I think it looks better because of that SLA pattern. And then the seller has all these ways in which you can customize this. By the way, the seller of this is an Etsy store called 3D2AA. That's why I had to look it up. It doesn't roll off the tongue. 3D2AA sells all sorts of different samurai masks like this with lots of configurability. I chose black mask with the gold teeth and the blood spatters. And I mean, this is an angry mask. It's not a happy dog, but man, it's a beautiful sculpt. It's 3D drawing. It's really gorgeous in that regard. Its execution and its printing is smooth and beautiful. And like I said, the specular highlighting, the specular aspects of the SLA just makes it even better. And then the dimensionality of the blood spatter is really nice. I imagine that the seller lines these up and sort of flings paint at them, which sounds easy, but it ain't. No. When you are flinging paint and you get a piece that's too big, ooh, you have trouble. This is clearly a person practiced at doing this because it is so evenly done. My hat is off to them. I love this. And at some point, I'll put together a samurai costume, and this will be the wolf mask of my dreams. Like I said, I love communicating with and purchasing and supporting stores of individual makers on Etsy. If Etsy ends up crapping the bed and becoming a place that is unfriendly to creators, I hope that something else rises in its shadow, because that is a space I want to spend lots of time in. I love this reality in which people can open a small shop and support themselves, or just augment their income by making stuff that is beautiful that they love. Thank you to both of these gorgeous stores, Epic Fantasy and 3D2AA. Thanks for doing what you do. Thanks for making beautiful things and putting them out in the world. And I'm delighted to add both of these pieces to my collection. Thank you guys for watching. This has been my show and tell for today, and I will see you guys next time. Cheers.
Hey guys, Adam Savage from Tested here. If you've ever seen the 6-inch ruler in inches and centimeters on my forearm and wanted one of your own, but you didn't want it to be permanent, well, today's your lucky day. You can now buy temporary tattoos of my measuring stick, my measuring forearm, at tested-store.com. Comes like this, goes on in about 30 seconds with a little water. The instructions are on the back. It comes off with rubbing alcohol, and hopefully it warms you up to the idea of permanently attaching a measuring device to your body, because I use mine every single day.